they war on people. FBI got a file on me. Too many teachers in the land got afraid. Join us now as we make our play. Set all drug offenders free. FBI got a file on you. Think they don't, but they goddamn do. All CNI is watching you. Everything you say and everything you do. FBI got a file on me. Another red man in a stolen country. And I don't give a fuck about the you.
Fora TV. The world is thinking.
There's one story in particular that has really hung with me, and that was in October of 2006. The American Civil Liberties Union had acquired copies of autopsy reports done on civilians who died while in custody in Afghanistan and Iraq. So they were under U.S. military custody and they died. So doctors will do an autopsy on them. And of these, there was 44 autopsy reports, and they're still on the ACLU website. You can go there and you can read them. They're not pleasant reading. But it's quite clear. Of 23 of those, the cause of death was listed as homicide. So they were murdered while in custody. I mean, it was just right there, black and white, right in the autopsy reports. The other ones, the primary cause of death listed as heart failure. All of the bodies had had extensive damage, broken bones, bruises, lacerations, just they were brutalized badly, tortured to death. And ACLU came out and said these people were tortured to death. I mean, there was just no question about it. They put out a press release. Now, what was different about this particular story, is here we had absolute proof that U.S., and this was multiple sites, it was many bases throughout Iraq and Afghanistan at the time. It wasn't just Abu Ghraib. And so we have these autopsy reports proving that we were torturing people to death. And it goes out as a press release from ACLU. AP, the Associated Press, one of the largest press organizations, wire services in the world, sends that out to all 1,700 daily newspapers in the country, all 5,000 radio and television news programs. And 12 newspapers in the country ran the story. That was it, 12. And most of them were actually in the Midwest. The largest paper was the LA Times, which ran a shortened version of it on page A4 once. And then neither AP or any other stories on torture have ever mentioned those autopsy reports again. The only other time I ever heard about it was in that movie, Taxi to the Dark Side. They mention it, they talk about it, which was on HBO recently, but that's the only other time I've ever seen any mention of this. So this isn't like we're trying to get the guys in the Justice Department that wrote the torture memos and Cheney's saying, oh yeah, we did do some stuff, we tortured them, or we took the gloves off, but did it save America from being hurt more and that kind of thing. No, this is killing people. This was murder. And the proof was there. And it still is not covered. It's still not talked about. And we know that every single editor in the country had access to that story.
شو هذا الماء ما صارت مصيبة جاهز يا عم هذا الماء ما هي من مكروت شو بتعطينا شو بتعطي مكروت فيش ماء للشرب فيش هاي شو اللي انت لتروح هاي اللي انت عايز وين هذول بعدين هاي دلوين وبعدين هذا بكدي لك للبلد.
عندنا التانك هذا الكت يوم بنعبي فيه هذا باخذ معنا تقريبا ساعة الا ربع ساعة الا ثلث. الكيتا ما بنعبي وبنمشي وبنروح بنوزع على البيوت باخذ معنا ما بين ساعتين. الكيتا بيستغرق كل تانك معنا 3 ساعات مع التوزيع طبعا. يعني في اليوم اذا بنودي لنا 3-4 تنوك وبزيادة هذا الساعة 11 في الليل. ومش قادرين نعطي الناس حاجتها لأنها كتلة، الناس بدها تشرب.
أهم مشكلة في مشاكل البنية التحتية هي مشكلة المياه، في عندنا مشكلة قائمة من 98 حتى اللحظة الحالية، مشكلة في الكمية الموصلة لنا من خزان الرادار للمنطقة. المنطقة بحاجة يوميا تقريبا أو كل ساعة كمية 130 كوب في الساعة الضخ للمنطقة. حاليا الإسرائيليين بعطونا نص الكمية اللي حوالي 65 كوب، وهذه الكمية غير كافية.
هاي المنطقة هي منطقة الرادار. هذا التنك اللي انتم شايفه هذا هو التنك اللي بغذي جميع المنطقة تبعتنا مية. هم مركبين على الخطوط تبعتهم الخط الرئيسي 5 طرمبات مية بدخين المية على الرادار. يعني 5 مضخات بدخين على رادار، وهم بيقولون عدد الرادار 3000 نسمة. فالمقابل انه هون عندنا في 50,000 نسمة.
فيش مضخات؟
هون عندنا ما فيش مضخات، بتيجي المية يعني عادية انسيابية.
هذه المياه لسكيت الشجرة تنفعش. قاعدين
المنطقة جميع المنطقة هيك.
شوف المياه ما فيش مياه، قلت المياه قاعدين نشرب فيها.
هاي جميع المنطقة هاي الدور هذول مرتفعة، جميع المنطقة هاي الدور هذول جميع هذول الدور هذول بوصلهنش مية بالمرة. هذا يعني في قرية الدور جميع الدور هذول شايفين انت فيش فيه مية بالمرة هذول.
المية لها حوالي 6 شهور تقطع وبتجيش من مرة، حتى في البلدية ما بتيجي. ومن المجلس كل اسبوع بروح على المجلس بسجل وبشتري مية مشترى. الحمام بنروح نعبي، امرار بنعبي من البيار، وحياة صعبة صار. يعني من متضايقين كثير متضايقين عشان المية مش عارفين شو بدنا نعمل. وكل اسبوع بنجيب وبنعبي كنوك، كل اسبوع بنجيب نشتري مشترى.
I'm very sad to say that if Obama will go into the White House and continue to act like a slave and not like a leader, I don't see any change coming. If he continues to play golf and act like a slave, forced by AIPAC or any other interests and lobbyists in Washington, and if he continues to not to talk about the horrible crime that's happening in my country now, I don't see any change coming to the world.
I've no idea how the government reacts to what you say on international media like this, but what do you say to those accusations that there will be, that you're a traitor, in effect, to Israel, that you're showing treachery, perhaps treason, in voicing the view that you've just voiced?
I risked my life for many years as a captain and an operation leader of operations in the Israeli Air Force. I worked with Israeli terror victims for many years. I know from a very close distance the pain of the Israeli people as well the Palestinian people. So no one can call me or the thousands of members of the anti-occupation movement in Israel that we are traitors. On the contrary, we are patriots. We want our people to continue to exist, and we see our leaders' actions as a self-destruction policies that put in a great danger the future of all of us. And we want to simply, as I'm telling it to you, as a rescue pilot, as a former rescue pilot in the Israeli Air Force, this is the most important rescue mission I can take upon myself to save the people here, whether they are Israelis, Palestinians, Jews, Muslims, Christians, and we all know that the situation in the Middle East affect the whole world, and it could be as easy as that this kind of conflict can escalate to a world war. Don't forget the forces in the other places in the Middle East, the tension between Iran and the United States, other countries. We are in a great danger now, and if people want to help me as an Israeli and as a Jew, they have to put massive pressure on the Israeli government for ceasefire right now. Right now, we need a ceasefire. We need to be forced to sit and negotiate with the Hamas. We have no other legitimate action but sitting and negotiating now with the Hamas and with the Arab world. Don't forget that we have the Arab Initiative. For many years by now, Arab initiatives say that they offer complete peace and normalization if Israel withdraw to the 1967 borders. As an Israeli, this is my interest, to have peace with the Palestinians and all the Arab world, and my government ignored this request for many years.
All right.
So this is my request.
Yonatan Shapira, thank you very much indeed for your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So more on our news website on all of the issues surrounding Gaza, the background to the deepening humanitarian crisis.